Hi guys and welcome to Simply Scuba. So you're looking at your very first BCD, but there are so many on the market, and what's the difference between them? Well, there are different types of BCD out there. Some are very specialized and will only do a single type of diving. Others are a bit more widespread, and there are some that are just made for traveling, so that makes them lighter. So in this guide, we're gonna make it a little bit easier so that you can choose your BCD. Okay, so this is your entry-level sort of style jacket. This will be very similar to what you used whilst you were learning to dive. We call this a jacket style BCD because it inflates around your sides as well, which usually means that you get nice big large pockets. You can store tools and torches and whatever you want. Look for integrated weights. Integrated weights make your life a lot more comfortable. Instead of wearing an awkward sort of weight belt, now you can put your integrated weight into your BCD, keeps it all together, and you can still ditch it if you need to. Jacket BCDs are great because they give you that all-round lift. It gives you a nice big hug, and when you're on the surface, it kind of holds you upright. It's nice and comfortable. But when fully inflated, if the straps are done up really tight, they can kind of restrict you a little bit. So a lot of people tend to move on to wings. So a wing BCD on the front looks very similar, but when you start to move around the back and around the sides, it's quite different from a jacket style. So wing style BCDs only inflate behind you. So everything's behind, that's why they call it a wing. This inflates, this is your buoyancy. These are great. This is also a travel style BCD because it's very lightweight. You don't have those big bulky pockets. They've also dialed down the thickness of the materials as well. Makes it a little bit thinner, makes it lighter. So if you're sort of cramming in and out of wrecks, then you might want something a bit tougher. But as far as a lightweight sort of travel wing, then you're looking for light and light so that you can travel really easily. They give you a real sort of sensation of freedom because you don't have those big pockets on your sides. Everything's all behind you, and when they're fully inflated, all of your inflation is at the back, so it's nice and high, so that holds you nice and horizontal in the water as well. So a lot of people, they start to progress up through the BCDs, they start to move on to wing style. But of course, if you do want to dive somewhere and you need a BCD that's a little bit rougher, then you can sort of opt for a higher grade BCD. So thicker materials, but you also get little features kind of dotted all around them that just make them that little bit higher quality. This one, for example, you've got articulated hinges in those shoulder straps, so they're much more ergonomic. They're not quite as rigid as sort of when you put it on. Little features up around here. This is softened, so it's much more comfortable, especially if you're just diving with a rash vest. So to improve weight pockets, you've got fancy sort of materials on these pockets as well. Just a little bit tougher. It's still that wraparound jacket style, but it's just got a few more upgraded features. For more advanced diving, then people often change to backplate harness and wing systems. These are fully customizable, so you can get the exact system that you need. And this is really what you need if you're thinking about moving on to twin sets. So you need a solid backplate, a harness, and then a separate wing. So the wing gets sandwiched between your cylinders. The harness itself is completely customizable, so you can move all of the D-rings. You can have exactly what you need where you want it. The main difference between this and a more traditional BCD is that you can attach twins. So instead of having just a normal cam band, you can see we have this big open space, and this is where your twin cylinders can sit, and then you have mounting points for your twinning bolts, so they bolt directly onto that backplate. Just means that the whole system moves, it's really solid and very reliable. The inflator as well also sits in the center, so when you have two cylinders, you've got the two valves, it's not going to get in the way. So this is specifically dedicated for twin cylinders, but you can swap the wing out at a later stage and just put a single wing on that. They're very customizable, so it's a great sort of final end, what people end up diving with. So for certain disciplines like side mount especially, you have dedicated BCDs. So this is a side mount BCD. It's very different from a normal traditional BCD, even a backplate and wing system. It has similar features of that backplate and wing. You have fully adjustable and sort of customizable parts, but when it comes down to the wing is very different. So the wing is usually, you have very little inflation over your shoulders. All the inflation tends to be down towards the small of your back, and the more modern sort of style is wraparound. So this bladder sort of wraparounds in front of you. It sort of gives you a nice big hug, keeps you nice and streamlined. It was primarily designed for cave divers and for diving in sort of wrecks and whatnot. So you need to be nice and sort of slim and flexible. But the main reason why it's great for side mount diving is that it actually has attachment points for side mounted stages. So you have nice big strong D-rings up on the shoulders, and then you have other little clips down around your hips, so you can really customize exactly where you clip your cylinders off, which most BCDs don't have. They might have a D-ring down at the bottom just to clip something off onto, but it's not really in the right position for side mount. So if you're thinking about side mount diving, then you really need to go for a dedicated side mount BCD. What we're going to take a look at is a kids BCD. Now, as you can see, this is pretty small because it's designed for kids, but what kids BCDs are primarily designed for is growing kids. So it starts off very small, but you can actually lengthen off these shoulder straps. There's another little clip in there, so as your child grows, this BCD can actually grow with it. Other than that, they feature all the same sort of design and features that you have on a traditional BCD. You have the same style inflator. You can have the optional integrated weights. It's a jacket style, so it inflates around you. It's a perfect sort of BCD to get them used to what we use as adults, but in their size. So that was a quick look at the different types of BCD that are out there. Of course, they come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, but let us know which BCD that you use. Thanks for watching, and safe diving. We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.